Morning, everyone. I'm Robert Broadus. I ran for Congress in the 4th Congressional District. And first off, I'd like to acknowledge two great supporters with whom I could not have even had a chance. Number one, Miss Katie Holland and Miss Anna Yapapina. I just really appreciate your support. Anna took photographs for myself and plenty of other candidates here. We had great discussions late into the night. Katie held several meet and greets for me. I just really want to thank you for everything you did. Now, as many of you may know, I was not always a Republican. I started off a typical black person raised in the suburbs of D.C. I was actually born in D.C., but moved to Maryland at age 4. I was raised to hate Republicans, think they were all racist. I was told that Ronald Reagan was going to put us back in slavery. After 8 years of seeing he didn't, I started to say, hey, there's something tricky to this. Let me look at these Republicans a little closer. But it really took until I was about 36 before I really got fed up with what the Democrats were doing. I said, I don't agree with them on abortion, on illegal immigration, on gay marriage. And if you keep this up, I'm going to vote for those Republicans. So in 2007, I put my hat in the ring, got my first taste, and got a lot of experience from that race. This time around, I came in knowing what to expect. I had a few surprises. I think myself, Mr. Harris, and Mr. Bartlett were the only candidates to have run at a congressional level before. And knowing what I know about Maryland, if you were running in any other district, you shouldn't be surprised that you didn't win because the groundwork hadn't been done. We hadn't prepared the way. We hadn't prepared the minds of the people to see that we see eye to eye on 80% of the issues. We have to tell the people these facts. So I filed early. That was one of the lessons I learned from my 2007 campaign. The earlier you get your name out there, you start getting invited to debates. You start getting asked by the media what your positions are. People want to know what you think. That's a free opportunity to advertise what your campaign is all about. So I filed on September 30th of 2009, not knowing that the primary would not be until September 15th of 2010. So that's a long primary period. And I want to suggest, I'm not sure of all the mechanics of the system, but if there's anything we can do to get our primary system, our primary period shortened. I'm sure it will be shorter this time because of the presidential election. But during the off-year elections, we've got to be able to come to a candidate sooner. No filing the day before the filing date and then expecting that you're going to build up a campaign and run in 3 months. It's just not going to happen. So I filed then. I put together my message. I thought about what the people in my district wanted. And I have Prince George's in Montgomery County as democratic can be. But I realized that, especially in Prince George's County, the people there vote Democrat, but they're conservative at heart. So I needed to get through to what they believe. I started developing my message. There's 3 ways you can advertise to someone. You can create a sign or some paraphernalia to put your name out there. Let them know who you are. Broadus for Congress, okay? I got people coming by saying, hey, I saw your sign. Know you're running for Congress. Can't vote for you. I saw your sign. Well, that's good, but there's other ways. Something deeper we got to get. The next stage is finding out where you agree with the candidate. You know, say, we see eye to eye. You, me, same, okay? Say things that the people in the district agree with. So that was my first key strategy. And then the last part, education. If I'm going to put signs all over the district, I want to tell people what I want them to believe. what I want them to think about me, what I want them to believe about the Republican Party. At the end of the day, I want to say vote Republican, but you put that up there, and they're going to start chopping holes in your signs. So you got to say it in a way that they already agree with. So many of you may have seen some of my signs. Being a community of faith, don't covet. Socialism is a problem that we've got to address in the GOP. I know a lot of people are afraid of it. They say it's too complex. But if we don't address the socialism issue, we'll never get through to the heart of the problem. When someone says, hey, those rich fat cats over there got too much money, they got too good of a health care program, I want to take from them so that I can have it. That's not just greed, which they accuse us of. That's covetousness. If they recognize that, they'll back off. The way you enact that covetousness, what covetousness causes you to do is steal from your neighbor. So I say don't steal. And how do we engage in that stealing? Through taxes. So I say in the IRS. The IRS was created in 1913 along with the Federal Reserve. If we could get rid of the IRS, that would undo the vast majority of the government entitlements, the excessive spending, most of the things that we see going wrong and out of control, the nepotism, the cronyism, everything that's wrong with government comes through the evil of the IRS. I hope there's no agents in the room. But that's one part. Signs is one thing. It's important to know that you don't win on signs. Okay, I had a lot of people say, I'm not going to put your sign up in my yard because I don't agree with the message. It's a little bit too harsh, it's a little bit too much. I said, that's fine, I'll give you a sign with my name on it, you'd be happy with that. But in the PG County Council race, the person with the least signs was the person who won. Because it was about having connections in the community. The people who spent all the money, had the most signs out there, they lost because they had all this union money coming in, they had all these resources. It still didn't make a difference. And you can see the same thing in a lot of the presidential races. But getting that message out there, reaching to the hearts, and getting people to connect with what you believe is extremely important. So I developed the postcard that many of you have seen and I've got available outside. It talks about the history of the Republican Party.